Yo, what's good YouTube? Back at it again with another manga haul, this time for the month of March. And you know I don't like intros, so I'm just gonna hop into it. Starting off, we're gonna start off with two complete one volume series that I've picked up. The first one we're gonna be talking about is Satoshi Kon's Tropic of the Sea. If you don't know who Satoshi Kon is, he basically started off doing anime, like directing anime, and then he transferred into the manga world and made a couple series, and this is one of them. Tropic of the Sea is about this town that lives by the sea, obviously, because it takes place in Japan, and most places in Japan are by the sea because it is an island. But that's besides the point. They're by the sea, and it starts off by telling you, hey, they have to take care of this egg. They don't tell you what the egg is, but it's a mermaid egg, essentially. And they have to take care of that and make sure that nothing bad happens to it. And if they do, they'll be cursed by the mermaid, and bad stuff will start happening. So it's the character's responsibility to basically protect it, make sure nothing bad happens to it. But as a turn of events, something does end up happening. Because if it didn't, it wouldn't be a very good manga. But something happens to the egg. You figure out the egg actually has something special about it that you didn't originally know about. But yeah, that's Tropic of the Sea. Next up, we got another Satoshi Kon manga, and that would be Opus. I originally picked this up not knowing anything about it, just because of how cool the cover looks. I just really like how, I don't know, this is cool. But basically what Opus is about is, it's about this manga artist who starts writing this series called Young Guard, and he ends up being on the last panel of the series when he gets sucked into the manga, and it ends up being where he's trying to get out of the manga world, and also he learns about the characters, and it kind of bridges the way between reality and fiction in a really cool way, I think. And yeah, I just think it's really interesting because it kind of gets you thinking a little bit. Not really that there's much to think about, because something like this is never going to happen in real life, but it just gets you thinking, is fiction and reality all that different from what we're living in everyday lives? Obviously it is in most cases, but you never know. So that's Opus by Satoshi Kon. Next up, we're going to do continuations of series that I've already picked up, so I'm not really going to say much about it. First off, we've got volume 12 of Demon Slayer, volume 13 of Demon Slayer, and volumes 14 of Demon Slayer. There's not much to say about Demon Slayer because it is pretty mainstream, but yeah, I picked that up. Next, we got a favorite of mine. You probably already know what it is because I do talk about this series quite a bit. That'd be volume 14 of Berserk and volumes 15 of Berserk. I didn't pick up that much of Berserk this month just because there was a lot of other stuff that I wanted to pick up, so I didn't really end up having the time or money to do that. But yeah, I picked up 2 volumes of Berserk. You knew it was going to be here. It's in every single manga haul. Next up, we got a series from my all-time favorite anime. By Tezuka Osama, we have Dororo. Dororo is a story about the main character, Hyakimaru, and let me see if he's on here. Yeah, right here. Dororo. And basically, Hyakimaru is a child that was basically cursed and he was born without any limbs, body parts, anything. Because his father, Daigo, is the emperor, and he ended up going to the Hall of Hell and cursing his child forever because he sold his body out to the demons, which are right here. So basically the premise of this story, and as you can see it's really big, looks like a Bible almost, but yeah. But basically the plot of the story is Hyakimaru and Dororo go out and kill the demons. Every time they kill a demon that has some control over a part of Hyakimaru's body, he ends up getting that body part back. So or sins. Like one of the demons he kills gives him his arms back. One gives him his sight back. One gives him his taste back, his smell back, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's Dororo. And since it was my favorite anime, I did know what happened in this. I didn't really have to read it, but I did just because I wanted to, and I'm not going to buy a manga that I'm not going to read. But yeah, it is kind of daunting because of how big the volumes are, or how big the omnibus was. But yeah, the art in it is old, because obviously it came out a long time ago. It was written by Tezuka Osama. But yeah, I think it's a really good series, and if you haven't watched it or read it, definitely give it a try. It's worth your time. Next up, we have a series that I've been wanting to pick up more for a while now, and that is My Hero Academia. This series is very, very, very mainstream. Some might say it's the next Naruto, but I think it does what it does well. It's not anything too special. It's just a shonen series, but I think it's interesting. It can be more interesting at times, but yeah, I think it does what it does well. But I picked up volumes 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, and 18. And you might be saying, whoa, you skipped some volumes in there, buddy. And that's because I did. A lot of the stuff was out of stock, so I already had the first 2 volumes of it, so I've read through volume 5. I don't have volume 6, but I do plan to pick it up. I need volume 11, I need 13 and 14, and then 16 and 17, and then everything after 18. I'm not sure what it's at right now, but just know that I do intend to pick more of it up. I know the anime started streaming, but I do read more manga than I watch anime, so yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to series that I haven't started before and that are basically brand new to me. First off, we have Orient, volume number 1. I have no clue what this is about. I have not read it yet, and you'll see why in a minute, because I've been reading a lot of manga recently. Like, I had to finish Dororo, and that's a huge, huge book. I'll tell you how many pages Dororo has. Dororo has 844 pages. So yeah, that took me a while to read. Berserk, obviously. Berserk takes about an hour to read per volume. Demon Slayer, that takes about like 30 minutes. Picked up 3 volumes of that. Tropic of the Sea and Opus, those probably took about 2 hours because I didn't really read them in one sitting. My Hero, I read up to volume 6, like I said. But yeah, I've been reading a lot of manga recently. So I haven't really gotten to really any of what I'm about to show you. But yeah, I picked up volume 1 of Orient. I picked it up because the Omnibus Collector, he's another YouTuber, and he was talking about it. He said that he picked it up because it looked cool and that he enjoyed it when he read it. So I picked it up and I was like, alright, I'll give it a try. But the more I hear about the series, the more I get mixed reviews about it. How it's good, it's bad, it's decent, I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it, but I'm gonna give it my own try, see if I like it, and I might even make a first impressions about it at some point. But yeah, that's Orient. Next up, we got a series that I was looking forward to reading and that honestly, it was mid for me. I didn't really enjoy this series too much. Then again, I only did pick up the first volume of it. I don't know if it gets any better towards the middle end or any of that. But I picked up the first Master's edition of Blam because I'd heard a lot of good things about it. The art in it, can't knock it. The art in this is beautiful. And I think that's the main story point, or the selling point of this, is that the art is just insane. The structures that it shows in it, just everything about this manga's art is beautiful. The storyline, on the other hand, there's really not much story to it. But I don't know, if that's your thing, I'm more of a dialogue heavy person. I like to read something that has heavy dialogue but also has more action in it. Hence why Berserk is one of my favorite mangas. Because it has beautiful action scenes in it, beautiful art. But it also has really good dialogue that if you want to read more into it, it can have some deeper meanings at some point than just, oh, go after Griffith. But yeah, that's Blam. Those are my thoughts on it. Next up, we have a complete series that I will be doing a video on soon, and that would be Rurouni Kenshin. I picked up the entire series, 1 through 28, I think. I'll show them all here in a minute, but I do plan to do a video on this. One reason I hesitated on picking this up is because of the author. He did kind of do some scummy things, but I thought that since I bought it from eBay from someone who's not the author, technically I'm not supporting the author because I have wanted to read this series for a long time. It was going through my head, do I want to pick it up? Do I just not read it? Or do I just pick it up anyway, read it, and give my thoughts on it? And that's what I'm going to do. I picked it up with no intention of giving any praise to the author besides what he's done in the book. But that's just my thoughts on Watsky. But yeah, so we have the first volume, second volume, third volume, fourth volume, fifth volume, sixth volume, seventh volume, eighth volume, ninth volume, 10th volume, 11th volume, 12th volume, 13th volume, 14th volume, 15th volume, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and finally, volume 28. So that's the complete series of Rurouni Kenshin, and I will be doing a video more elaborate on this at some point in the future, probably after this video comes out. And as for my favorite covers, this is not going to be in order, but obviously Opus, Tropic of the Sea, and Dororo, Blam, all that stuff that I've only picked up one volume of it, it's obviously going to be that one volume, so I'm not even going to bother showing it because it's kind of useless to do that. But as for my favorite volume of the stuff that it kind of does matter, that'd be volume 18 of My Hero. I have watched the anime up to the second season, or the fourth season? What's it on now? I don't know. The fourth season, yeah. Overhaul's on the fourth season, I think. But yeah, with Overhaul and Stain are my two favorite villains in the entire series up to this point of what I've read and watched. Stain, I like his ideology, but Overhaul is just cool. Like, he's just cool. You can't tell me that decaying arm stuff coming off of him isn't sick. And this is when Deku gets his power up too, to where he can control One for All. And Ari comes in with her cool regeneration power things, or like turn back time stuff. I don't know. I just think the Overhaul arc and the Stain arc are two of the best arcs up to this point in the anime and manga. Next for Berserk, it's going to be volume 14. I just think it's really cool with Guts and Puck there. If you don't know, Puck is my favorite character in all of Berserk so far. After Casca, obviously. Casca's wifey, but you know. You gotta put Puck in there. Because Puck's funny. Then obviously Guts, because Guts is just a badass. But yeah, that's my favorite volume for Berserk. Then for Demon Slayer, it's going to be volume 13, because I think Genya is just a really cool character. He just looks badass. I don't know what to say about it. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look cool. But yeah, that's Demon Slayer. There's not much going on here. For Rurouni Kenshin, you're gonna have to wait for my video to come out on that. That'll give you a little bit more incentive if you want to go and check that out. Granted, you probably could just skip through the video if you really wanted to and see, but yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. So yeah, when that comes out, make sure to watch that so you can see my favorite volume cover of Rurouni Kenshin. But yeah, that's going to be this video for today, for this month's manga haul. I do plan on making more types of content. I do want to kind of get some Dragon Ball FighterZ stuff out there because I do really enjoy that game currently. And I do want to get more gaming stuff out there because I do also play a lot of video games and I just haven't really put them on my channel at all. And I do plan on that Rurouni Kenshin video coming out soon. I probably will make a first impressions on Orient. And yeah, if I end up picking up more newer series like Orient, do plan on more first impressions coming out. So with that being all, that's going to be it for this video. Peace.